This week's episode of Stocks in Play, I'll be looking at the company called Hertz. Hi guys, this is Mosh. I am an amateur trader and investor. I've been doing this just over a year now, and if you're new to my channel, you know I teach you guys anything that I learned myself and I share my experiences with you guys so it can help you out. Let's start off with who are Hertz. They are an international car hiring company. If you've been traveling abroad, you've probably seen them at pretty much every single international airport. I have been making money off Hertz throughout the whole year. One of my biggest trades when I first started was Hertz. If you watch one of my earliest videos, I actually made $2,200 off Hertz in 2 days. From that moment, I knew I wanted to carry on trading and investing. If you're not familiar with Hertz, they've had a lot of problems. They actually filed for bankruptcy in the early part of the year. So their stock, I think I first bought it under $1, then it hit a peak of like $3 or $5, I can't remember which it was, in like 2 days, and I had to take profit set at $3. So that gave me my first profit of $2,200, and that was a leverage trade. Then in April, I bought 2,549 shares of Hertz this year. I bought it roughly around $1.1 and I sold it for $1.7 literally a week after, and I made a profit of around $1,200. This is where I messed up, and this is where I learned a very valuable lesson. If I was to hold my Hertz stock for another month, because it hit a peak of around $8.5 literally a month after. If I held all my 2,549 shares, that would have been worth a total of around $21,000. So I could have made a vast amount of profit. The big lesson I learned was to let your winners run. A lot of the times I take profits a bit too early, even though after I've done my full analysis and I've got a price target in mind. But I see the profits and I just take it because at that point it's guaranteed. So I just need to learn to just take a bit more risk and let the winners run. I have recently bought back into Hertz. I have bought 136 shares around $20.5. Now, a good thing that's happened with Hertz is they've actually come out of bankruptcy. And this was one of my key fundamental analysis that I've done on the company. Because credit is so cheap and they have a lot of assets in terms of used cars, and with the recovery of travel, tourism and airlines, I think this is definitely one to watch. And remember, you can get a free share worth up to £100 with Trading 212 or free trade. Use my link in the box below. Open up account, deposit £1 and they'll give you a completely free share. I can say with a very, very high probability that this stock will be worth a lot more. Now, don't worry too much about the stock price. They've recently changed under new ticker HTZZ. If we look at Hertz's current market cap, it sits at around 1.4 billion. That is vastly low compared to what it was, and it's vastly low compared to its rival. And I think Hertz is a very strong brand. Everyone knows about it. Everyone knows it's a car rental company, and they can easily add their bases at international airports very easily. They can get back a lot more cars if they need to with cheap credit the way it is now and with interest rates so low. Plus, another aspect is used car prices have gone up. Now, if we look at one of their rivals, Avis, you can see currently Avis has a market cap of 5.3 billion. And again, it's in a similar field to Hertz. So if Hertz can be competitive with Avis, it will keep increasing its market share, therefore its market cap. I think it is a great recovery stock. Next, I'm going to jump onto the graph and show you the technical analysis side and what I've seen from the graphs. All right, so let's start off. You can see obviously the ticker changed. It was due to coming up with a deal and coming out of bankruptcy. If we plot some quick lines. All right, this is the daily chart. You can see it reached a peak of around $34.8. All right, I bought around 20.5. So let's just quickly plot a line roughly around there. All right, now I'm going to go to the hourly just to give us a bit more idea. You can see that it reached its peak of 30. Well, let's pull that down a little bit more. It's about $34 roughly around there, and you can see now it's almost range bound. I like working in market cap. If you think about its market cap at 1.4 billion, okay, I think it will easily surpass this $33 mark in the next year or two. Definitely, I think in the next year. I'm highly confident that it will break that point because that will double its market cap, which is still lower than Avis, its next big competitor. You've also got Sixt, which is a German group. Another thing I like doing is looking at volume, and you can see just before that big jump up to around $8, there was vast amount of volume. It was 16 million, whereas on a normal day it's probably like a couple of million. Okay, then the following day it was 14 million. So there's vast amounts of volume, and then the volume dries up. Now for me, that's a good indicator that when volume dries up, there will be another peak and another jump in volume. And on the daily, it could potentially be making a cup and handle graph. So something like this, then it will be a pullback, then carry on going on the upside. That could potentially be what happens, but again, it's a bit too early to tell. I will need to wait a few more days to actually see if it makes the cup and handle, and that's generally a strong indicator that it will move upwards, especially if there's large volume that comes in the next week or two. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Stocks in Play. If you want to see more of these, put a comment down in the description box below, and I'll also appreciate a like on this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.